Tonight on the DNVR Buffs postgame show, unserious football. Deeply unserious football. Let's talk about it. We got to talk.
Yep. Welcome in to the DNVR postgame show presented by our friends over at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, use the promo code BUFFS, BUFFS. You'll get $20 off your first purchase.
Hang with me, Jake.
Bro, what are we supposed to say?
Yeah, we got to say a lot. I'll start. If it wasn't already very obvious that sweeping changes need to be made, I think this was the cherry on top. And it's across all facets of the program. I think that obviously, in my opinion, it's not the head coach that you look to make changes, which I'm sure there are people somewhere saying that tonight. But the staff needs to be overhauled. The roster needs to be overhauled. And when I say staff, I mean all levels.
Yeah.
Needs to be overhauled. But as stupid as this sounds, in a game that ended 42-17, anyone who watches it knows that that was not indicative of the score. This was a winnable football game. A very winnable football game for 3.5 quarters. And inexplicable decisions led to this football team falling apart tonight.
There was one inexplicable decision that lost the game. Put a walk-in wide receiver in.
Walk-on,
whatever, for a carry. Meanwhile, Micah's averaging 12 yards a carry. Dallin's averaging 7 yards a carry. You put him in the game for his first touch as a Colorado Buffalo, and he fumbles the ball, and then they scored
on the very next play.
Yeah, that's the game.
On the very next play, it's an 88-yard touchdown for ASU, which, by the way, up until that point, the run defense had held up incredibly well. They were performing at a very high level. The quarterback runs were being stopped. The inside zones were being stopped. The zone reads were being stopped. The power was being stopped. The splits were being stopped. And I kind of feel for the defense in this one, even though I think it's Raleek Brown who ends up going for 255 yards on the ground tonight.
Yep.
I feel for them because the rug was kind of pulled out from under them.
It's happened like 4 times this year to them.
And that's what I was going to say is what this pattern keeps happening, where that side of the football is like kind of performing above what most games would say they're capable of. And then a massive mistake then puts them in a bad position. The dam breaks and the game's over. I mean, another example of it would be TCU.
Yeah.
When the muffed punt, that they're getting the ball back with a chance to go take the lead, or maybe they even, I don't remember, but it was close. And then, 2 plays later, you're down 10 or whatever it is, and you're losing. And in this one, I mean, you're driving to take the lead in a Big 12 football game against a top 25 opponent.
Yep.
With all due respect to Ronald Combing, who I know nothing about, there's 0 reasons on God's green earth for him to be in the football game there. Just none. Yep. There's not one that you could ever find, no matter how hard you look, for him to be in the football game there. And again, has nothing to do with him. I feel really bad for him.
Yeah.
Because he probably feels horrible right now.
Totally.
He was put in a position that he should never have been in and made a mistake that he should have never been given the opportunity to make. Because like you said, Dallin and Micah were playing great.
Yep.
And so after the game, Coach Prime says that was his decision. I think that's just the head coach.
He's falling on the sword for his player.
Falling on the sword for a player and a coach.
Sure.
And Maybe it was. It doesn't matter whose decision it was. Unfortunately, that decision lost you the football game.
Yep.
And it's one that just is so deeply unserious. That is such a deeply unserious thing to do in that situation. And I don't care that you're 3-7. I don't care that it's senior night. I don't care about any of that shit. It's not a decision you can make. It's a deeply, deeply, deeply unserious thing to do. To put a walk-on wide receiver, as he's listed on the roster, who knows if he's made the change to running back at some point during this season, in to have that carry when you have two running backs who are playing well in the football game, and you have the ball on, the 20-yard line? Going in to score. To take the lead, it's 17-23.
Yep.
Just can't happen.
No. I mean, and I feel bad for the defensive line, too, because, I mean, even them, man, there were plays when you had Torian Carter as your only defensive tackle on the field and you had three other edge rushers, and they'd run the ball, and those guys would, like we talked about yesterday, just kind of, had enough of it and decided, you know what, I'm just going to run through and make a play, and they did that enough times, and then it just gives out. You got Monatai Mani coming in the game at defensive tackle as well. He played, I don't even know how many snaps he got. It must have been 20-plus snaps for him tonight. Yeah. It's just it's the culmination of so many things that happened tonight. You even have the Georgia Tech thing. You had, 4 turnovers tonight? You had 3 points off of those 4 turnovers. That's just not winning football at all. You got called for 8 penalties for 78 yards. Again, you were called for more penalties than the other team. You allowed you had 355 rushing yards allowed on the ground.
I mean, 200 of that probably has to be in the last quarter and a half.
This team Arizona State was 3 for 13 on third down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because there was 3 or 4 on fourth down.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same story over and over again at home this year. Find yourself in a football game, find a way to blow it. And it's, in the end, tonight, I'm not as mad about the win or the loss as I am just about the process.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The process, we're in the process over results portion of this season.
Absolutely. Been here.
Yeah, exactly. We've been here for a while. And the process tonight was as bad as it's been.
The team just wasn't even locked in from the get-go.
You go for it on fourth down. You go tush-push with your quarterback who's obviously undersized at this point. He's 18 years old.
And you're not even just running tush-push. You're just running no-huddle tush, not even a second thought about it.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was tush-push as much as just a sneak with a little bit of help. But that was a bad call. I mean, you can go through the whole gamut. It was not a well-coached football game. And the worst part of it is, it wasn't well-coached on ASU's side either.
I mean, Jeff Sims did it too.
Yeah.
That was right before you kick a field goal right after that, and then I don't know what exactly happened in the scheme of the game, but then a couple drives, it's not your next drive after that is when Ronald Coleman gets in the game and fumbles the ball.
Well, yeah, so you get that. I don't even know was that an interception?
They ruled it an interception, yes.
The most unserious interception of all time from Jeff Sims.
Overthrew him by 7 yards. It was crazy.
No, I'm talking about the one that he just flopped it out of his hands.
Oh, that one, yeah. No. Well, actually, they may have ruled that a fumble because it says 3 fumbles, but
okay. Either way,
no one knows.
He just lets the ball go in the most Jeff Sims way possible. You actually end up going backwards on that series. I think you had the ball at the 7-yard line. I think you ended up kicking a field goal from the 15.
Well, is that when you had a false start too?
Yep. And a delay of game on the field goal. No, I don't think you did have a false start. I think you ran 2 plays. Juju took a sack on third down. You got a delay of game, kicking the field goal, and then went and kicked it and I think that was to make it 17-23.
Here, I'm pulling it up right now.
No, 17 to 21. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's the fumble. You get the ball in the ASU 9. They end up kicking a field goal on the ASU 5 because they did gain some yardage.
False start or delay of game.
Delay of game, kick the field goal. They get the ball back.
So there you go. You kicked it from. You got it on the 9. You kicked the field goal from the 10.
Yep.
That made it 17 to 21.
Yep. And then ASU kind of did nothing with the football. Colorado gets the ball back. They punt 3 and out. And then ASU actually they fumble the ball. Raleek Brown fumbles the ball. John Slaughter recovers. That's the weird sequence at the end of the third quarter where they end up reviewing the play.
That's terrible.
Or they take the quarter break and then they're reviewing the play and then they decide that there's still time left on the clock. We come back in the game here. Immediately a false start from JoJo coming out of the fourth into the fourth quarter. And then, you get a 33-yard completion from Juju Sincere Brown all the way down the field to the ASU 26. And then Ronald Coleman, 14-yard rush, fumbled the ball. Next play, Raleek Brown, 88 yards. That's game.
Yeah. If he didn't poor Ronald Coleman. If he didn't stumble on that, he might have gone to the crib.
Yeah, I mean, you had a 14-yard gain, yeah.
Yeah. It's just disappointing. We haven't talked about Julian Lewis. How far into the show are we?
We got a few minutes.
Okay. We haven't talked about Julian Lewis much yet. I thought he was solid.
He wasn't getting any help to start the game.
Well, that's what I was going to say is so he finishes the game with 161 yards passing on 19 of 38. 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions. But at least, I'm going to be generous here, 4 of those incompletions or drops. It might be more, it might be 5. And they're all big drops.
The first drop of the game was the O drop on just this beautiful Colorado. First off, okay, going back to this, their first drive of the game, they get the ball in great field position. It's across midfield. It's on the ASU 47 or something. They don't really do anything with the football those first 2 plays. And then Julian ends up scrambling to the right, to the bottom of the screen, and O is just streaking across the field in his hands, drops the football. I mean, that's everything right there. You catch that football, you potentially score, you take an early lead, you're feeling good about where you're at. Everyone's feeling good about where you're at. Juju's feeling great about, it's complete opposite of last week where you just start off with, boom, big
Bang.
completion right away.
It's a perfect throw.
I'm trying to find these stats. I swear, at one point at the end of the first quarter or something, Julian only had 8 passing yards, and he was 2 of 6 or something, and those 4 incompletions were all drops pretty much.
Yeah. Maybe it's even more drops than I remember. But that one, you're right. It just kills. There's another drop from JoJo on a 3rd down where he's streaking back to the ball. Juju hits him right in the chest. Mm-hmm. It's dropped. And so, I thought we saw what you wanted to see from Juju's flashes. I thought we saw the flashes. There was that sick throw to JoJo.
Yes, dude.
Layered over the linebacker. Going just dropped it down, sidearmed it over him, and I didn't even realize until I saw the replay how far of a throw that was.
Yeah, no, it was across the field,
30+ yard throw in the air, and just drops it in there. He made the throw to O. The touchdown throw to O is great. I thought there's a 3rd down where JoJo ran a corner route. And Juju threw it a little high, but he only went up with 1 hand. Mm-hmm. I thought he could have gone up and got that with 2 hands. So I thought Juju was solid.
I agree.
Just a lot of letdowns across the team.
Yeah, when we look at the PFF grades tomorrow, the receiving grades are going to be dreadful. I can already tell.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it clearly didn't help you that Jordan obviously was out again. Offensive line wasn't good early. Julian was getting just crushed early on as well. I don't know how many hits he took today. He played tough too.
He did.
You saw the toughness from Julian as well. So, let's take our first break. Shout out our friends over at Dick's Sporting Goods. Football season coming to an end. Get ready for next football season and stock up with whatever you need over at Dick's Sporting Goods. We got basketball season right now. You know you're always going to need to get some new shoes. They got you covered there, and they got the hottest apparel and footwear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, Originals, Calia, DNVR. Get your DNVR stuff at your local Dick's Sporting Goods as well. They just got you covered, man. Golfers, I know it's it's your off season, but what better time? Black Friday coming up as well. Get all the gifts that you need for Christmas at Dick's Sporting Goods, and you can get it with free curbside pickup at your nearest store or easy shipping from Dicks.com. Every season starts at Dick's.
Help me out.
Yeah, I got you. Also, let's shout out our friends over at Game Time.
Shout out to Game Time, man. One game left in the season. If you're going to Manhattan, hit them up. Or if you're going to a Broncos game, you're going to a Nuggets game, you're going to an Avs game, wherever you're going.
Or a Browns game in Vegas tomorrow.
You could be going to a Browns game in Vegas tomorrow, where I actually looked. I did take a peek.
Yeah.
Just like, what if we decided to just hop on a flight tonight?
How bad is it?
It's not bad. It's not bad
Really?
On Game Time. You can get in for a very solid price to see Shador. And that's the great thing about Game Time, because if you're like us and you're thinking to yourself right now at 10:35 p.m. in Denver, Colorado, that you might go to Vegas tomorrow and go to the Browns-Raiders game, well, you use Game Time and you get rewarded for not making that decision until such a late time. So get over to our friends over at Game Time and use the code BUFFS, BUFFS, for $20 off your first purchase. That's $20 off your first purchase from our friends over at Game Time when you use the code BUFFS BUFFS.
Scotty and Neely should be on their way shortly here, and we'll get their thoughts as well.
What did you think of Juju?
I mean, again, I thought he was good. I just thought he didn't get enough help early on. I mean, it was very apparent early on that the receivers just weren't really locked in. He was running for his life out there, too, man. He was trying to scramble, make some plays. I mean, he had that, it was, I think, winning the books is like a -1 yard scramble early on. Like, he was playing. He was trying early on. He gave it his all for sure. I know he's probably sick to his stomach right now.
Yeah. I'd love to know how he really feels, because there's definitely a couple times in the game where he probably, would like it back. He missed a throw. He took a sack, whatever. But I thought on the whole, his pocket presence was pretty darn impressive. Hell yeah. There's that play at the end of the game or later in the game where he's like dancing in the pocket, and like he steps up, and then there's pressure from the middle of the pocket, and he steps back, and then it comes from the back, and he steps up, like he's just dancing in the pocket, and he ends up throwing it to Zach Atkins deep down the field, and it wasn't completed. It was great coverage by ASU, I thought. But overall, I thought he really carried himself well in terms of not having happy feet, not bailing before he needed to, and making plays with the football. But like you said, just not enough help from the guys around him. What up, Scotty?
What's good, my boys? How y'all feeling?
Disappointed.
Yeah, that's accurate. That's an accurate description.
I feel like there's been a lot of different emotions after games this season. There's been angry, elated.
Yeah. This one's disappointment, hey?
I think this is the first one that I'm just truly just disappointed.
Yeah.
In the coaching staff, the team, the overall. I mean, you mentioned it, like you just said, it felt like the wide receivers weren't locked in.
Yeah.
Just like the focus.
First drive, really.
Yeah.
The big O drop on the first drive, which was kind of what I walked in you talking about. Juju kind of making nothing out of thin air, extending plays, giving a shot down the field. And that could have, you hit that on the first drive, Juju's probably instantly in the rhythm. This offense is, probably instantly moving. I'm sure you guys talked a lot about this already, but, Coach Prime after the game said that he thought the game changed with 2 plays, back-to-back plays. Obviously, Colorado was going into scoring zone, down 4 points. You give somebody their first career carry.
A wide receiver.
You give a wide receiver his first collegiate carry, and he fumbles the football.
Why?
Against the top 25 team when you're down by 1 score.
Was that explained?
Coach Prime, before being asked a single question, he kind of just got on in front of it, and he was like, listen, the young man who fumbled that football, that's on me. He said the reason he was in the game was because of him, Coach Prime. He said he was looking for change of pace. And that's why Ronald Coleman was in the game, which
Change of pace for what?
yeah, again, it would be one thing if you were looking for a spark offensively with the run game, but that was just not needed tonight because Dallin Hayden was providing it. Michael Welch was providing it. You have the stats up. I think Micah finished averaging 12 yards a carry tonight.
I mean, no, it was around 10, but he had a 39-yard run that really obviously
boosted things. Yeah.
Micah averaged
10.2, Dallin was 6.5.
He had two guys arguably having their best game of the season running the football. And obviously the passing game wasn't working, kind of what we were talking about with the receivers not really being locked in. If there was any night to just completely lean on the run game, in particular Dallin Hayden and Michael Welch, this was the night. Because, again, at that point in the game, Arizona State is only up 21-17. It's a 4-point game, and you are driving. You just got another turnover, I believe, because Jeff Sims was trying his darndest.
Yep.
He was trying his darndest to keep Colorado in this football game.
Yep.
4 turnovers.
Wasn't this right after the crazy Sincere Brown screen pass?
Third and long screen pass that was converted. And, it's really just inexplicable, that decision to put Ronald Coleman in that football game at that point.
Do you believe Coach Prime when he says it was his decision?
Yeah, because I don't think nobody else got the authority to make that decision unless it's Marshall Faulk. And I don't think Marshall Faulk is, like I said, has the pull authority, whatever you want to call it, to be like, let's put this guy in who has never carried the football for us in this crucial point of the game. I don't think Marshall Faulk is doing that. So I do believe him that was on Coach Prime. But it was obviously a massive mistake. Yeah. It turned the football game. He fumbles that ball. Obviously, they go 88-yard touchdown the next play. That was the game right there.
If that's the case, and there is a part of me that thinks like he's falling on the sword for an assistant coach who made that decision. But if that's the case, it's the biggest mistake Coach Prime's made as the head coach of Colorado,
without a doubt.
And it's just completely and utterly inexplicable.
It's really not excusable or explainable.
Yeah.
Like it really defies all logic because, again, it would be one thing if you didn't have anything going in the run game.
Yep.
But they did, and it was looking like maybe their best game running the football, at least with those two guys, Dallin and Micah. And to take them off the field and hand it to somebody, like I can't wrap my mind. You got to understand, okay, I was in shock, bro. Jake will tell you, I'm like, that was the worst thing I've seen all year.
Yeah.
And we've seen some really bad things this season.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I've seen all year because there was no reason to have him in that football game. And again, this isn't really about Ronald Coleman, the player or the person. This is on the coach. This is on Coach Prime. If he was the one who made the decision, which he says he is, that was a brutal mistake that ultimately cost this football team a top 25 win.
It's on Coach Prime even if it was Falk's decision, though.
If it was
kind of,
yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. He's the head man. I mean,
he needs to be like, what the hell is he going in the game for if that's the case?
Yeah, but if that's the real case, and again, I'm just going to take Coach Prime's word for it that it was his decision, and just say, like, that's insane. But otherwise, like, usually the position coaches are in charge of the rotations at their position.
For sure.
There's no way to, like, stop it once it's already happened.
For sure. But this is, like, a larger issue, too, because honestly, the backfield's not made sense to me all year long.
They haven't found found a rhythm.
But this has happened at multiple times. It's just this is by far the worst mistake and instance of it happening, where guys just get put in the game, and it's like, why is this guy in the game when other guys just been ripping off runs the first 3 quarters or whatever?
And again, I hate to make it about Ronald Coleman.
It's not about him.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Legitimately. But I literally said when I saw him on the field, because the 45 sticks out.
It sure does.
And
Especially when you haven't seen it all year.
I turned to the people around me. I said, "What is he doing in the game?"
That's what I told, because he was in the game like the drive before.
A little earlier, yeah.
And I turned to Scott and I was like, "Ronald Coleman's in the game," and he's like laughing at me. I'm like, "No, bro, he's in the game. Like, look."
Yeah. What's up, Unc?
Oh, chilling.
What's
like
cracking, big dog?
I can't reach you. Bam.
Look at us twinning.
Shout out Goonsville.
Damn, I didn't know you had the pregame patch on yours, though. This fire.
Damn, wait.
What do you see?
Petros, where's our DNVR?
right.
Yeah, give me a flag right there.
That's hard. What's cracking, though?
What's
How you
up,
feeling?
Unc?
Man, How y'all doing? Final home game in Folsom,
Cool,
you know?
Ain't that sad?
Sad.
Ain't that sad as hell?
We were just talking about the kind of sequence there where Ronald Coleman came into the game and fumbled, and obviously one play later it's 88 yards the other way, and that's the game.
Yeah. What I don't understand about the look at the core right, the dynamic of this team, right? Well, here's the good news: we ain't got one game left.
Thankfully,
mercifully, and it'll be a new team. It's almost like an expectation thing, and when I mean that, it's the lack thereof. 3 minutes before the half, we don't expect to score. We give the ball back to them. Minute 40, we expect them to score.
Yeah.
We don't hold ourselves to the same expectation that we have of other people. Like when there was 3 minutes left.
But they weren't even trying to score. They were trying to run the fucking ball out.
Exactly. And it's like, but even in that, they were making progress.
Yep.
We weren't making progress. It's like, hey, man, let's score. And when you have a game where right before halftime, here was the goal. The goal for the game was they can't get 200 yards rushing, right? Right before halftime, it was like 40 yards rushing.
Yeah, they had it.
And then you bust it. And then you end up with Raleek Brown, one player, having over 100 yards rushing at halftime.
At half. Yeah. I think he finished with like
255.
255.
Like 23 carries or something.
I think
that's John Madden shit, man. Like it's like you're like, what's that stat right?
I think I heard somebody say today this is the third time this season that Colorado's allowed 300 plus rushing yards in a game.
It is. Yeah.
But they had it bottled. They literally had it bottled the entire first half until that.
Yeah.
And then they had it bottled the entire second half until the 88-yard run.
And Jeff Sims didn't even kill him with his legs tonight.
No, he Jeff Sims.
He really did. He was who you and I thought he was.
He was.
And all of those runs, somebody might be an asshole in the chat and say, no, there was only 3 of them. Those big runs were like A-gap runs. Like how? Like how?
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't some trickery. It was just like, where's the linebacker, where's the safety? How do you run 88 yards to the A-gap?
And that's been, I think, the bugaboo of this defense this year is just the big plays. I had this stat, I think, during the Arizona game, they had given up like 5 plays of 50-plus yards over the last 2 weeks, and that has obviously increased.
Bro, there was
West Virginia
5 tonight.
I think so. I haven't got a chance to tally them all up, but it's got to be
the
close
run before the half, the 88-yard touchdown run, the slant that went to the crib.
Yep. I asked Reggie about that.
At least 3.
Oh, what'd he say?
So if y'all don't know, what was it, the 87? It was like an 80-plus yard touchdown pass from Jem Sims. It was like an inside slant from the slot receiver. It seemed like nobody was in the middle of the field. And before the play, Reggie Hughes is just going crazy, like trying. So I asked him, like, what was going on? He was like, I was trying to get, guys who aren't typically on the field because of injury kind of in the right spot. And he was just basically trying to communicate with his teammates is basically what he said. And obviously we saw the result. Wasn't great, but that's it's not to make excuses, but when you have some guys out there who don't typically play out there on Saturday nights under the bright lights, there are going to be some communication lapses, but certainly that doesn't excuse. Like I said, this has been a theme, a trend for this defense,
and it's not
giving up the massive plays.
And it's not on Reggie Hughes on that play. That wasn't his man. It was cover one. It looked like it was whoever was in man to the slot.
I wouldn't even put it on them. What's wrong with the timeout?
I think you might have said that too as well. Like, what's wrong with a timeout at that point?
If I see my linebacker jumping up and down trying to communicate, what's wrong with the timeout? And then let's pretend I don't do it then, right? The 2-point conversion, you weren't ready.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Yeah.
Get ready. It's like I think that was a missed opportunity and lack of communication. When I was out of the room when Reggie and Juju went, but glad you asked him that because from my vantage point, that's what it looked like was happening.
For sure.
That he was trying hey, y'all, we're not where we're supposed to be.
What did you think of that, though, with Ronald Coleman going to the game?
I had no idea why he went in the game. I wasn't like next to coach or anybody, but I had the same reaction when I saw him in. I was like, somebody must be hurt or something.
That was my thought,
that's
too.
no shade dish to him.
Everybody
it's just
must be
depth
hurt.
chart wise.
Everyone is hurt.
I saw Micah in the game earlier running.
Right.
I saw Dallin in the game. He scored. And so when I saw Ron, I was like, okay, well, a couple of things. Somebody's hurt. Somebody wasn't ready. Somebody's, can't go in. Then I started thinking, is he a senior? Like I was trying to figure out why.
He's not, right?
No, he's not. I was trying to figure out why he was in. And then when he made the run, I was like, oh, okay.
He did kind of
14 yards.
Oh, no, it was a great run.
He did kind of pop it, but it's like, damn.
He popped the hell out of it. I was like, great run. But I will say this, and I heard y'all saying when I was coming in, because this is certainly not a blame Ronald Coleman thing. Shout out to Ron for all the work he put in. The game wasn't over.
No.
Like, you
And
fumbled.
you had stopped him a million times.
A
to that
million
point.
times. So at this point, right, that's a turnover. You were still winning the turnover battle. So it's not like you fumbled in and all of a sudden now you have 6 turnovers to their 2.
Right.
We didn't capitalize off theirs. They did. Like, that's the difference maker. Yeah. It's not about, Ron Coleman fumbled. It's about the next play. The very next play was, 70 yards or something? 80 yards. The next play.
It's the game.
But what did we do? Hold on. When we forced turnovers.
And that's been a problem since week 1.
Yeah, 4 turnovers for 3 points again tonight.
But there's just so many moments in this game where it was just like, wow, that's so unserious. Like, the Ronald Coleman one's the number 1 one. But how about, like, them running a fake punt versus punt safe, and it's still being wide open? And that's the second time this year that they've run a fake punt where it's not like you were sending the house and they caught you and there's no one back there. No, both times you had people back there, and both coaching staffs who were coaching against that said it doesn't even matter if you get that look because they're not paying attention. That's so unserious.
It really is. And it speaks to how some of these opposing coaching staffs feel about this coaching staff or this team's preparation or lack thereof, so to speak. And you mentioned the fake punt. That was kind of what I was going to go to. Like, I remember at least 3 instances in this game where Arizona State made a play or scored a touchdown or put points on the board strictly off of creativity and scheming guys open. I think of the wheel route touchdown up the sideline, which was beautifully designed. I think of the 2-point conversion play that you just mentioned, beautifully designed, and the fake punt. Well executed. Those are 3 big plays.
They missed on one that was beautifully designed.
100%.
Overthrew.
They were trying.
Yep. The Tyson even touchdown. The Tyson touchdown to the Mateer.
That was a double.
Oh, yeah.
Double middle finger.
Oh, yeah.
To you. They said, we're going to have one former Buff throw a touchdown to another former Buff.
They tried it.
Yeah, when I saw that play, I was like, we need to write that one down. Like, that's a good play.
And
I thought they are saying, fuck you.
Yeah. And they don't respect them.
Yes.
They think that they are unserious. And, at this point of the year, they are, for the most part, clearly. And, that's just unfortunate. But
I just still go back to, how do you only get 3 points off 5 turnovers?
It's brutal.
It's been the story of the season, bro.
Well,
it goes back to Georgia Tech.
You start to Georgia Tech then.
Yeah.
We can start now and go then. You get turnovers, and you get 3 points out.
It should turn you up when your defense makes a play like that.
Yeah, it's like.
It should turn you up.
Because, again, going into this game, all right, here's the blueprint to victory. We got to hold them under 200 yards. We got to get 100 yards. Just 100. I think we got 150.
Right.
Just 100. And all we need is 3 turnovers.
Man.
Let's take our next break. And shout out to our friends over at Taco Bell, the legends over at Taco Bell. Supporting DNVR, supporting the program. Go check them out. Check out the new Chicken Cantina menu.
Fire.
Tons of delicious stuff. The chicken tender burrito?
Crispy chicken
burrito. Go try that, man. Get yourself a Buffs box as well. 4 Taco Bell Classics plus a large drink in a CU Buff player collectible cup. Only $7. Taco Bell is also a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation for every CU touchdown scored. We'll get to that a bit later. Buffs love the bell. Breckenridge Brewery.
Shout out to Breck Brew, man. Great beers. All sorts. Whatever you like, they've got an option. Whether you like the super IPA, heavy hops, you're like a true beer drinker.
If you like my
True
fun
Colorado.
slinger.
You like the fun slinger, something nice and sessionable. That's a big word.
What a word.
It's a big word in the beer industry.
Hell yeah. Spell that. Can you spell that?
I'm done.
Yeah, I can spell that.
Okay.
You want me to?
No, I believe you.
SESSIONABLE.
Good job.
Sounds good to me.
Is that a real word?
I think it is. Either way, there's just so many options from Breck Brew, and you got to check them out. You can actually check out the Breck Beer Locator by going to breckbrew.com/beer locator.
What a pull.
Spelled it right. And check out all they have to offer. It's not just in Colorado, even though it is brewed here in Colorado. You can find it anywhere. Use that beer locator. Shout out to our friends over at Breck Brew who have been a sponsor of our shows for as long as I can possibly remember. They are a great, great steward of DNVR.
And one last shout out to Breck Brew for helping us with the tailgates all year.
Of course.
Definitely.
The tailgates were so good.
Yeah.
Fire.
We changed up the tailgates this year. We made them free. We moved them right next to the stadium, and you guys came through and turned it into a party every time. Hopefully we're just leveling it up again next year, but you guys unfortunately ends up being the best part of game day every time.
I was just going to say, bro, it's one of my favorite parts of every home game.
Yeah.
Is getting to talk to the people who watch us every day, who listen to us every day, and show us love in person, man. It's such a humbling and just cool experience every time, and I appreciate everybody who showed up and pulled up.
Totally.
No doubt.
And I just love hearing everyone's stories. Like I met a couple of guys today who are like, oh, we drive for UPS. So we're just in the car all day. We just listen to every DNVR show. I'm like, God, I love that so much. Yeah. Very cool. So thank you guys.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Also, some of the comments, man.
I'm not even doing it.
Someone said in the comments, like, oh, Neely showed up, so now they're just talking about all the positives. I'm like, we haven't said a positive.
What the hell are you talking about,
said a positive thing since ALLCITY sat down.
Just be yapping.
I can leave.
No.
I mean, like, I could really give a shit.
No one said a positive thing all night except for what I said about Juju.
Can you go to this real quick for me?
Yeah, what are you looking for?
Can you go
what
to
did
the
you think of
drives
Juju tonight?
section?
Didn't have the opportunity to be the Juju that you saw in West Virginia. Because it takes some being settled, as Coach Prime would say it. But man, I will tell you this, and here comes Neely being positive.
I think this is the right place.
Damn, the future is bright, man.
Yeah.
Like that rollout that he threw, the one Omarion dropped down the sideline. What a beautiful damn pass, man, under duress.
For real.
The kid can play, like just period. Like he's going to be a phenomenal quarterback.
He really is.
For this program, no doubt about it. And when you look at the core group of that wide receiver room, some of the bright spots that are coming in, like I think he is the two things that make my eyes wide for the future. Is Coach Prime emphatically saying the tremendous amount of changes that are taking place, and Juju.
What can you tell us about those changes?
You think I would sit here and tell you what he didn't tell you?
About the changes.
There's going to be a bunch of them.
So wide sweeping.
Yeah.
Coach Prime said some of them are already in progress.
Yeah, how do you not? You won 3 games.
I'm just trying to get as much info as I can from the little you can share.
Like a couple things that he has said like publicly about that is there's a point in the season that it doesn't make sense to do it now.
Of course. Totally.
You may have the person that you replace him with is not available. You may have a contract that's expiring anyway. Like it's a myriad of things that take place in these kind of decisions. So, but there's no upside to doing it now. But he's like, y'all, I don't need someone telling me this. I see this. I see what's happening. And there are going to be changes. Like we can't go – it's not even about next season. You don't even go into next year.
Mm-hmm. Like these calendar year.
Yeah, these are December changes.
For sure.
Yeah. And they'll be – yeah.
Substantial?
Yeah, there'll be some changes.
You asked about
There has to be. And that's football.
Period. Like it's really – and even he'll say it on the podium, no, this is not about picking on one person, picking on one assignment. Like this is what it is, man. This is where we are. We have to make changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as a fan base, rightly so, like you want a name right now and you want a replacement name right now.
They want somebody fired right now.
Yeah, and that's not how it works. It could work that way with head coaches per se. You see it across the board where you got 20 vacancies already, right? And then people are just waiting on that one domino to fall so we can see how everybody's going to shake out. It doesn't work that way with position coaches or coordinators or strength and conditioning or film guys or whatever. Like those are postseason things.
Well, and it does happen once in a while.
Once in a while.
Where, donors want blood and they get their wish and you make it. But the truth about that is all that does is make everyone else's job harder. If people are pissed about this show and they say RK's got to go in the middle of the season, well, guess what happens? Scotty and Jake have to do all the things that RK did.
And then it makes replacing RK harder. Because who wants to come in and be like, well, shit, I see how you did him.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so,
I don't want to work there.
Well, and that's why we had, some quiet reshufflings during the season.
Mm-hmm.
But all that firing people during the season does is make your staff shorthanded. And so for the most part, it usually doesn't happen in terms of someone being let go in the middle of the season when it comes to position coaches, recruiting people, like whatever you want to point at. But I think everyone can now, if that's what you want, and I think that's what most people want is, they want to see a couple heads roll. It's going to happen.
I don't think you have a choice. No. You got 3 wins on the table, and the things where the arrows are pointing up don't counter the changes that need to be made, right? It's not like, I want to get rid of Scotty, but he has those nice pockets, and, if we get rid of him, we won't have the pockets. You don't have a counterbalance over there. You got 3 wins. And Deion Sanders is a guy, who has won 11 games and made staff changes because the margin of victory are big enough. You don't think he's going to make changes winning 3?
For sure. And it's not like you can say, like, well, they're close. That's not really hasn't been the case the last month either. I mean, this team has now lost 4 straight games. They have 5 losses this year by 14-plus points.
Dude, check this out. Fun, horrible fact. I guess horrible
Unfun
negates
fact.
fun, yeah.
Fact.
The last time we had a lead in a game was October 11th, Iowa State. When we were up 7-3.
We were up 7-3 in this one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. When we were up 7-3, before that moment, we had not had a lead since the last game we won.
That's over a month, Unc.
A month
and a half. That's
without a lead.
Like 40% of the season.
And then what did we do after I found the stat?
We
lost the lead.
Right, yeah. No, I want to say something about Juju though that really through 2 starts now has really stood out to me. He has thrown the ball 73 times over the last 2 weeks. His last 2 starts, 0 turnovers.
Yep.
That is really impressive to me.
Period.
To 73 pass attempts, and that doesn't even include all the dropbacks, right? Because there are some scrambles in there, maybe some sacks that obviously don't count as well. To not throw an interception, to not even really have a close
That's the thing.
ball
He hasn't
in
even put
harm's
the
way,
ball at risk.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. 2 close ones, but
for sure. Even
That's
tonight,
right.
he kind of had one where he was trying to get out when the
fumble?
little fumble, right?
Yeah,
he got back, but like
he was under siege all night.
that's what I'm. And sacked probably how many times
4.
tonight? 4
times.
7 against West Virginia to be.
And that's what I mean about when I evaluated it. Like I have to look at like, damn, he wasn't able to even be himself because of the allowed pressure. Right? It's not like you were out there playing the 85 Bears. Shout out to you. It's the allowed pressure of it. He still was, quote unquote, like, damn, that's promising. Like
it really was. That was impressive to me because for an 18-year-old true freshman.
If we want to talk about a Ron Coleman fumbling the ball, man, those drops were crucial.
Yeah, we were talking
every situation that we had a receiver drop or pass was a game-changing situation.
That's
and
what
it's
I said
not
earlier.
like they had to lay out for. I mean, these were in the hands and the gut, perfectly placed. And if you catch half of the drops, we're talking about a totally different show right now.
If O catches the first drop, I mean, it's a completely
just
different game
changes
almost.
the complexion of the game.
Yeah.
There's another one that I just remembered on a dig where Juju threw one to O, and it was high.
That's the one I was
throw
telling
he was
him, bro.
going crazy
that
about,
was that is low-key teach tape from Juju. He was
unreal
looking right
throw.
the whole way, knew he was going to come back to the left.
ripped
Comes
that
back,
shit. That
rips it, takes a hit, and it was right on the money. That should have been caught.
Yeah,
That was
like
one
he
of the
had to
things I
jump
loved
for
him.
it, but it went right through his hands.
For sure. Juju has shown – Juju going to be like that, bro. Just give him some
He already
time.
is.
He's
He's
right.
been like that.
Just give him
And
some –
I love how
like
he
that.
goes through his progression.
Yeah.
Like
so
a
you
lot
can
of,
see it.
every other quarter I'm behind him, and so I can see his head doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like there have been times where like Salter was in the game and his head just does this.
Yeah.
The whole back pedal and the throw is just looking one way.
Yeah.
But you see Juju like watching the field,
Facts.
then pirouette and come back right where you want. You just got to catch the ball.
I know I've said stuff like this before, but it bears repeating over and over again. Juju should be competing for his fourth straight trip to the Georgia State championship game right now. Like, that's what he should be doing. And meanwhile, he's going through progressions against a top 25 team and ripping seeds into the middle of the field. And it really disappoints me that his wide receivers let him down tonight consistently.
Same.
And, I mean, it was all over the place. Third down, he scrambles. You know, he's got JoJo coming back to him. He hits him right between the numbers, or between the in the top circle of the 8 on his jersey.
And I'm telling you, man, like, I hear y'all, I hear anybody on the Ron Coleman being in the game. But for me, even that situation, it was the play after. And then when if I'm going to include a running back fumbling, I got to include wide receivers dropping passes.
Yeah.
And again, these were not like I had to lay out and I had to stretch and it was behind me and it hit my hands. And you know the old saying, if it hit my hand, it's supposed to catch it, but sometimes you can't catch it even though it hit your hand. This wasn't those situations. These were dimes.
Yeah.
And each one of them was a drive-changing, if not thereby game-changing situation. We just, like, failure to execute.
A lot of them ended in the next play being a punt.
For sure.
Just like the next play was them scoring.
Yeah. Very disappointing.
All right, let's do our touchdown tracker, and then we'll do super chats and get out of here. How many touchdowns do we have today, guys? 2?
2.
So shout out to Taco Bell, donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Fund for every CU touchdown this season. What's the count?
I feel like it's a square number now.
30?
30, right?
I thought we were at 28.
I remember it being an 8. I don't remember if it was 28 or 38 because that's why I thought it would be a square
Based
number.
on our record, I'm going to go with the 28.
Yeah, it's probably 30 now.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's fire. Is it literal fire?
It is.
It's
literal fire, right?
We're in fire. Yeah.
Fire sauce. I had the Buffs over under on points tonight over at Bet365 was 20.5. The fact that they didn't eclipse that is remarkable.
This was Arizona State.
Because
with 5 turnovers.
That's what I mean. I mean, they had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity in the red zone that they either ended with 3 or 0 so many times.
It's the first game of the season Arizona State scored over 30 points.
No way.
Yep.
Holy shit.
That's crazy.
And I mean, they did not deserve to score over 30 points.
No, of course not.
No, I mean, Coach Prime was at halftime. You know, he asked the team, like, what do they have that we haven't given them?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. They have nothing that we haven't given them.
Like, it's like everything they have, we handed it to them.
Yeah.
Like, this team is not beating us. We're beating ourselves. And it continued in the second. More turnovers. Because even at halftime, it's like, hey, we knew to win this game under 200 yards, 3 turnovers. How many turnovers we got? And it was 2 at half. All it needs is 1 more, guys. And we go out and get 3 more. But they don't convert the points. A gift-wrapped extra possession.
How did the Jeff Sims interception fumble to Sean Myers, did that end in 3?
Yep. They went backwards 1 yard and kicked the field goal.
That's brutal, man.
The only points they had off turnovers.
That's brutal because they got that ball inside the 15.
They got it at the 9.
I should say it's a 10-yard line, man.
Got it at the 9, got to the 5. Actually, they got all the way down to the 3. And then Juju took a sack on 3rd down back to the 5, and then they got a delay of game that took it back to the 10.
Right, gosh darn. I mean, that's a mix of everything right there. Everything that can go around in terms of the delay of game, in terms of the execution lacking.
But it's what I was saying earlier, and this is like a vibe thing, right? A gut thing. Mm-hmm. You got to trust your gut. My gut could be wrong. I got to trust my gut. It just feels like individual players, which then make up a collective out there, expect what you just said to happen. Like the expectation is, oh, we're not going to score off this turnover. We never have. Versus the expectation being, hey, look, I know we didn't score off the last one, but let's huddle up, guys. We're going to score off this one.
Yeah, man. That's a systemic thing.
It's just like it's a mentality standpoint at this point, or in past points. Like this is not the first game it's happened.
Right.
Because I got to imagine even as fans in the stands, you know, what's the best indicator of future performance? Past performance. And so you're sitting there watching after a turnover like, okay, how are we going to mess this up? Instead of we're about to score.
So a little thing that we like to call buff shit. It's been around for a long time.
Damn.
Yeah, it's interesting, man.
Thought that thing was retired.
Fumble right into an 88 touchdown is the most bullshit thing I've ever seen.
Like, dog, like how?
Yeah.
Because again, when it happened the other way, we didn't score 88 yards.
Right. Gave it right back to him, in fact.
We got 5 fumbles and we didn't, 2 interceptions, but you know my point. We got 5 turnovers and we didn't get an 88 yard. That's like a mentality thing. That's a play calling thing. That's an expectation thing. Here's the number 25 team in the nation coming here. They're already bowl eligible. They're in regardless, right? Of course, if they win this, it helps them with Big 12 math, but they're still like out of that, probability speaking.
ASU?
Right? Yeah.
They have a 4% chance.
Exactly. Yeah. Like they're up there in the
after tonight too.
If this happens, so what I say is like they ain't got a lot of reasons to be up for this game.
Hell no. I mean, no.
Other than the fact that Jordan Tyson, but
you got senior,
their quarterback quit on them.
Thank you. You got senior night at the crib. You got every reason to be up.
Yeah,
and if they can convert a fumble to an 88-yard score, why can't you? Because you got to believe and have the mindset and the expectation that this is going to happen.
Yeah. That Juju the touchdown was pretty sick though.
Yep.
Juju just sit in that pocket again, knowing the hits coming, just delivering.
What did he do?
Sitting in that pocket.
But he had a pocket to sit in.
Thanks. Shout out all the pockets.
Shout out the pockets.
If you give this dude,
yes, just a little bit. And the little bit you get him, he gonna squeeze a little bit more out of that too, because his escapability in the pocket again is really impressive, man.
It really is.
He's
slippery.
He's small, but he is he can be a true dual threat.
Yes. Yeah, for real. He's a slippery dude, man, and I like that he's selective with it too when he wants to run. Right, he doesn't
just got a great feel of the game,
and he makes you defend the entire field. Like that corner out, is not a throw that most quarterbacks make or their coaches trust them to make.
It's so easy to force somebody to defend the entire field when you scan the entire field.
Yeah, exactly.
When you drop back and you're only looking 1, maybe 2 ways the whole time, and both of those 2 on the same side. I mean, they know they're out of the play. He keeps every defender in the play by the way he turns his head.
You got to defend every blade of grass when he's out there on the field.
And that he's so good at that RPO glance.
Yeah. I mean, that's money. I think.
And I only saw one tonight
that
he should have let go.
Didn't he hit that was his first completion of the game, right?
Yeah. Like I said, that was same for West Virginia. At least his first chunk completion.
Yeah, I think it was the one where their number 10 tackled him that he should have let that one go, because as you were reading it, that guy was sliding with y'all. And you could see he's going with whoever goes that way. So let the running back have that one.
Yeah.
But
there was one
nothing
that
else.
He should give, yeah.
Tomorrow morning, right? Quarterback. When you wake up sore, you're gonna remember. I should have given that one up.
It's gonna be a few of them.
My man. I told him we were doing the show in here. He said, "What kind of pizza y'all like?"
Bro, that's the biggest pizza
fresh as hell.
Sheesh. Let's go.
This looks like fresh too, bro. Thanks, man.
Yeah, that thing's still.
It's like glistening.
Still glistening. Thanks,
man.
I got your pictures. I'm gonna post them.
Hell yeah.
That's clutch, man.
That's real.
Anything else?
Chat time.
Arrows pointing up.
All right.
1 game left.
We
can flush this one.
You know how many points Kansas State scored tonight?
Oh, man. I was watching that game, right, in the locker room, and I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah. 47, and they lost.
Scoring.
And running the football.
Oh, their running back.
Had 290.
Yes. Their running back was right at 300 yards.
Who's their running back?
Joe Jackson or something like that?
Yeah. I was like, oh,
Lord
shit.
Jesus.
Bro, Chris Kleiman crashed out on the podium after the game.
Really?
You're going to see it on your timeline, yes.
Oh. Sick. I can't wait to see that. Speaking of crazy shit, how about the I don't know, fan on the field? You can't call him a streaker because he kept his clothes on.
Bro, y'all see the photos?
Best hit of the year. For real.
That Derek got, team photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I was like, dude, you're going to win the Pulitzer.
He crunched Buddy,
bro.
No,
bro, how do you get out there? You gotta have your
head on a swivel.
What are you doing,
You're
bro?
on the field.
You gotta scan the field. He sees one guy coming at him, and I'm like, you just think it's just one-on-one out there, bro?
But I'm sitting there like, why can't we tackle like that?
I mean, that was
like he folded
textbook.
That guy.
Yes. Textbook.
Bro, he got folded.
Bro, dude had me dead though. He's getting escorted out. He's chirping at the whole ASU section, throwing up the wrist
the whole way out, doing the LeJohn
dead right with the Western jersey on. Yeah. I was like, nah, bro. There's no way.
What What possesses you to do something like that?
He just had enough of the game. It was after the Ronald Coleman stuff. He was just like, I'm losing it.
Like,
I'm going to show them what
Bro,
they
hold
should
on.
do.
I'm so mad about this game, I want to go to jail.
Bro, that's what I was asking Jake. I'm like, gee, like you
do go to jail.
right? That's
criminal
that's what I was
trespassing.
thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Does it? Okay.
You bogus though. Because why you ain't joined tonight?
Tarps
Why you ain't
off,
joined
yeah.
the turf?
I honestly I was in too bad of a mood. Like,
Dog, I ain't mad. No, dog, I'm not mad at you.
yeah,
It was cold out there.
It really was.
It just didn't feel.
And I'm a big advocate of all my folks back south. That, man, please get it out your head. It's not like that in Denver. It's not like that in Boulder. Like, it's a different kind of cold.
For real though.
Like 30 degrees back home, you don't go outside because it feels like negative
Right.
10. Y'all's 30 is like our 45.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
But tonight
was
it was
cold.
cold. It was cold tonight.
well, and I think we just been spoiled because the winter just hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like, I just pulled up in this, and like the sun dipped behind the mountains. It didn't even make it to 4 o'clock before the sun dipped behind the mountains, and I was like,
Chile.
I'm in trouble. I'm in big trouble. But once I was in the stadium, when people were actually still there, it was fine. And then everyone left, and then I got cold, and then I saw everyone down there with their shirts off, and I was like,
Speaking
I'm not feeling it tonight,
speaking
boys.
of,
Sorry.
of the fans, let me echo a Coach Prime shout out. For this to be Thanksgiving break for students, right?
Great turnout.
I was
and
surprised.
for our record to
I
be
was
what our
pleasantly
record is,
surprised.
right? That was a hell of a crowd tonight.
It was like 30 minutes before the game. I'm looking around going, yikes, this might be really bad.
Oh, the Buff Walk, I was like, oh man, this is done.
And then, I mean, they definitely showed up late because it was like into the first, maybe even second quarter. It was
Yeah.
like, this is really impressive, actually.
For sure.
Last thing. Oh, actually, it's in the super chat, so we'll get to super chats.
Well, let's go. All right. Warring with the first one. What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna do the same thing that RK was.
Yep.
Talk about.
Warring says, we call out OC/DC when they make a bad call. Don't give Coach Prime a pass for putting RC in. Could clearly see it on Marshall's face. That wasn't his call.
I mean, I don't.
I mean,
we
this
gave him a pass.
super chat probably came in before we
Okay.
even started the show. So, Mechie says, I just want to know why we passing on 3rd and 4. Run the ball. I don't care about how many times a person dropped the ball. Do some up downs and get back to the running game. Old school football wins. Movement Gossip says, Jake and Scotty, thanks for a great Benson Field season, for hearing me out with my feedback before the game. Yeah, man.
Oh hell yeah, appreciate that.
You
Matt.
three are the best, Matt. Yeah. Matt says we need to describe the players that we're talking about more and use fewer nicknames, which I think we are very guilty of.
Pretty
So-
much just give a little bit more context when
Yes.
we're talking. Like, I feel like sometimes we just assume that everybody knows like who and what we're talking about sometimes, but we just got to set it up a little bit better sometimes,
Fair.
which I think is valid.
Yes.
Fair.
No,
So
fuck that.
appreciate that, Matt.
Yes. That's great feedback, actually.
It really is.
Really
I just want to be a chatter for a second.
I'm trying to think who has the most obscure nickname that would just confuse the
Well,
hell out
he
of
brought
someone.
one up, and he's been out for most of the season. But Trackhawk, like if you didn't know, like hear the first
Earlier
Trackhawk
in
show,
the year.
like
Yeah,
that would make sense.
That's fair.
Speaking of nicknames, so
New mate.
Coach Prime was working the receiving line. The parents getting ready to go out with their children, right?
Yeah.
And so he gets right to Reggie Hughes, and Reggie's from Mississippi. It's my guy.
Yeah.
Before Coach can shake his hand, I yell out face rain. His family got so happy. It's like, oh, we love that name. But that's another one people wouldn't know the hell you're talking
Nope,
about.
facts. Face rang.
True. Tom Jr. Carlson with the 99.99 super chat,
Sheesh.
man.
Shout out Tom, man.
And he's dropping some perspective here, too. As bad as this feels, it's not the 1-11 team, nor does it feel like the Hawkins years. I am confident Coach Prime will figure this out. He has too much pride not to. Taking my son on a day trip to Vegas tomorrow to see Shador's first NFL start.
That's
Can't
right,
be worse
rocks.
than this. Let's go.
Sick.
Appreciate you, Tom.
That's fire.
Legend.
Very sick.
Safe
Can I
travels. Have
touch
fun
on
out
that
there.
for a second, that
Go ahead.
perspective? So here's a coach that gets
Want to eat this?
promoted
pizza so
from
bad.
the HBCU, right, to come to what was then Power 5, now Power 4.
Mm-hmm.
He assembles this staff, right, and you're walking into higher expectations because you're Deion Sanders, Coach Prime. You go on the road and beat TCU, right, first game. You only win 4 that season. Next season, you come back and what were 9-3 or something.
Yep.
But people just
Regular season.
9-4. People just remember like the last 2 when we, the bowl game, et cetera, et cetera. And I say all that to say this: when you look at like the landscape of college football historically and presently, it takes more than a season or 2 to get a staff right, because you don't go through enough situations in one season to know if this is right. And now we can also always say the record shows if it's right or not, but there's more to a record than just that. right?
Definitely.
And so I think we have – it's almost like the market when you got a down market but it comes back higher than it was before it dropped. You're just going through this cycle of college football in this program. You add in NIL and transfer portal and all these other changes, that only just exponentially accelerates the things. But the program, to this perspective, is certainly on the right track. And Coach Prime knows management, knows organization, knows people. He will get the right people in the right place for this organization to perform better than it did this year. Absolutely guaranteed.
Peaks and valleys.
Yep.
Period.
And pizza.
Warring again says bring the DNVR bus back.
That would be great.
I'd like to do that.
With Scotty's face on the side with the waves. Not waves,
And the
Scotty.
pockets.
Your prime pick, Scotty, doesn't have the waves I needed to have.
It's true. I agree. We got to update that.
LDD says which coaches should be let go in your opinion? Nice try, LDD.
I will say this. Can I touch on that? Can I go out on this weak limb and fall?
Let's do it.
Go
You know,
for it, man.
a bird doesn't know a limb is weak because he got wings, so he's not worried about the weight.
I know you're not.
Just fly.
Well, go ahead.
Here's what I would do if I was head coach of a program that went from 9 wins to 3. Everything's on the table.
Of course.
I'm literally meeting with every staff person,
Everybody's
and everybody's going to tell me what you did to contribute to this one way or the other. Like there is no sacred cow. There is no we got to make some changes, but Scotty, you go ahead and take off December. It's everybody but you. Like no, I'm sitting down with I'm going to talk to Chef Solomon.
Fact.
You leave him out of this.
No, I'm going to talk to the folks that clean the locker room.
Everybody.
Talk about the carpet fresh that they choose. Like, is it the fragrance? Like,
Yeah.
I want to know everything in this program because if it touches the players, it matters, right? And if it touches the players, it matters. It impacts winning and losing. I don't think there's anything that you go like, no, that area is fine.
Yeah. I'm going to talk to the people.
You won 3 games.
I'm
Everything is on the table.
I'm talking to the people who decide where DNVR does their postgame.
Absolutely.
No, for real.
Everyone's on the table.
You got to put it on there. And why is alcohol frowned upon in football? Like, it should be celebrated. Coors is a sponsor.
Thought that went hand in hand.
You would think. Oh, now it's a problem.
Right. Okay.
You guys took it farther than I was.
We can drink, we just can't be honest and drink.
Yeah,
I see
exactly.
it. Un-American.
Crazy.
This was America. Earl Terrain says, will Coach Prime ever make home visits for top recruits, especially linemen?
I don't know, man.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. One thing I will say, as much as it is totally damn different, the world we live in, his justification for not doing it is totally understandable. Because if he does it for like Scotty, he's got to go to Jake. And then you end up doing everybody. What has worked for him in the past, whether it's Jackson State or here, is like, no, if I go see this guy, don't see that one, then we lose that guy. Let's everybody just come to me. Because I think we forget, we didn't just hire a coach. You hired a guy who was a celebrity before he was a coach. And he can't just pull up at any airport or walk down any street. That's the nature of the world we live in, man.
I think it's on the table, though.
Oh, again,
Everything is.
everything is on the table. Because
Everything
at
has to
some
be.
point, the manner in which we missed on some of the things we brought in-house, be it players, coaches, admin staff, whatever, you got to do something different now. I got to go double-check this.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
I got to talk to Scotty and ask Scotty some questions. I can't just
And his
depend on A,
parents.
B, C, D, E.
And his coaches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody, has been this season saying, oh, y'all blame the players too much. Now it's all you blame the coach. I think you win 3 games, man, everything got to be discussed.
Everybody.
Clay Farmer at the Super Chat, $20. Thank you, man. Says, I'm going to try my best here. When the time comes, the changes made need to be said going forward and not let the fan base and media find out on well off or reach the people. That roster improvements and winning all will be right in the world. I still believe. Go Buffs.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Clay.
Thanks, Clay. Next, we got Oxtone. Don't always agree with Matt McChesney, but they need him. That's your opinion, man. Mechie says, get them boys in the weight room.
Nice.
Great idea.
FF18. Oh, yes, we did have one piece of good news today. Jordan Seaton won the Buffalo Heart Award. Shout out to
fire.
Seat.
Congratulations to Jordan Seaton, man. As Scotty always says, a member of the Coach Prime era Mount Rushmore at Colorado.
Facts.
And, boy, do we miss him when he's not out there.
Yeah, man.
So I hope he's back. I hope that he shines next year, and I look forward to seeing him become a top 10 pick in the NFL draft.
Absolutely first round, top 10. Absolutely back, and absolutely will not be alone on that line.
Hell yeah. Yeah, congratulations to Jordan, man. The
It's
Buffalo
fire
Heart
for real.
Award is a very, very serious honor. And another Buffalo Heart Award winner who was on people's minds today was Nate Landman.
Yep.
Congratulations
Congrats
to him for getting first big contract in the NFL. What a dog. What a dog. And just an example of what that award means.
Yeah.
And so very happy for Jordan and a very fitting winner of the Buffalo Heart Award.
Most definitely.
Well said. Don Peasy says, what is the NIL stash looking like? Because we're going to need every last penny plus what's ever in the school savings to get this thing rebuilt next year.
I missed it, sorry.
Gotta have money.
What is the NIL stash looking like?
Good. Could be better, though.
Yeah, man.
Always could.
Competitive stash.
It was coming into this year. But it's more about how you spend it than how much you got. And Coach Prime
100%.
admitted to that this week, that there's mistakes made in that regard.
Yep.
Tyler Wilkinson with the super chat. Buff fam / alum and true Boulderite. Disagree with Unk. Wide receiver drops hurt, but we were still in it. Putting Coleman in was a disastrous call by Prime that single-handedly cost us the game.
I call bullshit on that. Sorry.
I disagree with single-handedly.
Yeah, exactly.
But
How can that turnover be more costly than not advancing the ball? It was the next play that they scored on. Like they turned it over to us, and
88 yards out.
Yeah, it's like, come on,
But
man.
it was a disastrous error, in my opinion, and one that just doesn't have a lot of – there's no excuse for it, in my opinion. And so that's why people are going to be extra pissed off about it, because it just made no sense.
They're extra pissed off about it because of the fumble.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But
Yeah, but they're not pissed off about like you look at the number of targets and then the number of catches, and look at the gulf in between. Those catches or not catches impact the game,
they do. They do.
just like
It's just-
fumbling does. But
Yeah.
what more so impacted the game was not the actual fumble, because again, turnover ratio, the number that we had compared to theirs, we didn't score but 3 points off of 5 turnovers.
It's just when you do something different and it ends that poorly, it looks really bad. If they had called a double reverse pass there that ended in a pick six, like everyone would be looking at Bartolone saying, that's insane.
But that wouldn't have single-handedly lost the game.
And it never does one play.
And I'll say
single-handedly
this about any player on that sideline that's been in practice and working his ass off, has a jersey, has a number. That's why you go in the game. Like, you don't have anybody on the bench that should not go in the game. Like, you're there you're part of the team. And if a head coach or position coach, whoever, sees an opportunity for somebody, so be. I mean, when we put
It's just not
Colton
the
Allen
time.
in at the end of the game, right? That could have been a pick six. It wasn't, but it could have been.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna say, "Why is Colton Allen in the game?" I'm just saying,
It's just not the time.
Ron Coleman's fumble did not lose the game. Just like
It's
Omarion
just
Miller's drop did not lose the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's never one play, but that was a massive turning point and one that is rightfully scrutinized.
I'm going to stop now because we just keep all each other. Like, fuck it, you got it.
Who up next?
We're ready to go.
All right, Don Peasy says, RK, what section you sitting in for the game tomorrow?
What game?
You think he's assuming you're going to Vegas?
I don't think I'm going to make it to Vegas, but I am going to Stoney's, which is the local Browns bar in Denver.
Heaven's Demon says,
Browns
do
have a
you,
bar here.
do you think being clothed changed the outcome of the game?
Do you think being clothed?
Absolutely. Watch what Shador does tomorrow.
Warring again says,
I blame Goonsville then.
As you should.
Stop giving Neely clothes, bro.
No, but I'm like you. I wouldn't have been out there naked tonight anyway.
Yeah, it was cold.
It was.
They tried, though. They got a little group together, tarps off. It didn't turn into anything, really, though.
It couldn't.
Unfortunately, it really couldn't.
But just people are just not.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people are like me, like, nah,
Yeah, not tonight.
doesn't feel the same.
There's a time for it.
First time was cool, but yeah, no.
Just doesn't hit the same.
And it's got to be realistic.
Yeah. It's
What
got to
else?
be like organic, like
Yeah.
get off the vibes and whatnot. And yeah,
else we
tonight
got,
wasn't just
Jakey?
tonight.
Warring says Signetti got it right in his first year. Thank you, Warring.
He's a great coach.
LDD says, which show are, I think we already got that one. Sorry, I'm going to borrow this real quick. Is that it? Garrett says, agree with Neely. First place to look is NIL fundraising team. We missed on players due to poor fundraising / NIL signed Flatiron Society member.
I don't remember saying
Both
exactly
things
that, but
can, both things can be true. More NIL money would help the team, but we didn't miss on players because of lack of money. We missed on players and also lacked money. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
We missed on players that we had the money to afford, and we could have afforded a different player.
I could 7 p.m. right now, Ron Coleman shit out of you right now, but I'm not going to do it.
I don't know what that means, but that's okay.
No, I'm going to go back and forth.
Yeah, all right, fair.
Because you're right. Like, both sides are right.
It's
so
just, it's you have to hit
6-7.
It's mostly about the misses.
You did it.
The
You did
misses
that.
and evaluation.
the less money you have, the more important your hits are.
Exactly.
So if you
Less
have
room
as
for-
much money as Texas Tech, you just throw money at everyone, and
But
you miss
nobody
on that
cares
guy,
about
it doesn't
your
matter
misses.
because
Yeah.
there's another guy
But
behind
you
him.
could also, your point about the miss, you could overpay for the wrong used car.
Yes.
Totally.
And I think that might have happened even this year. But again, when you have maybe less funds than other schools, like your misses get highlighted. So
Particularly when it results to 3 wins.
correct.
Coming off of 9.
We'll be back on Monday. We'll see y'all then.
We're about to eat this
I
pizza.
need more excitement out of you for Monday. You know what happens between now and Monday?
Shador Sanders plays football.
And Neely will be naked watching. I need more damn energy right now.
Oh, boy.
You should see the look on your face right now.
And it's going to happen. They won't be with me, so.
They already know what it is by now. They know what the hell going on.
Oh man, let's go Buffs.
See you Monday, Go Buffs.
Love you guys.
We all silly like the mayor.